All right. So 2L is the next important piece of information. And then we did have the baby on New Year's Eve, so now we've got
wow. Do you know how rare that is?
3 kids in 2.5 years. You mean the tax write-off stuff? Well, we kind of forced them out.
Oh, it was induced?
Because she was 39 weeks at midnight on New Year's Eve, we went in and it hurt. It was an 8.5-pound baby.
Wow.
So that's big. Average is like 7.5.
Yeah.
So it works, unfortunately. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so we're live on YouTube. We've got, oh, Daniel got that. And then we are going to your new page. It'll probably say Professor Mike. Does it still say Professor Mike on your homepage? Let's see. Mike Instructor. Because this is like my little first 24 hours back since we had the baby. I was here for your class yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've slept enough, but we'll change it to John T. How about that? That works. And then we want your syllabus. 4202. And then that way we get you guys going. Was your break okay for everybody? Did you survive your break? Was it really crazy or fun or weird or none of the above or all of the above? Boring. Where'd you go back to? Toledo? That's where Dr. Allen lives. She was the director of social work last year. So do you go to Detroit for a fun time or something then? Really? For real? I was wondering, I mean, where else do you go? Toledo, Ohio. That is crazy. Isn't Sandusky the bad coach who was at Penn State University? I think he got in a lot of trouble. Okay, here we go. I can give you this. So before that, do you guys have any questions in the first place? This could be one of your like most important classes where you get to learn how to like make money. And I'll tell you why. Once I find my syllabus for you guys to view. Oh yeah, we had office hours, and then I had one other thing that was like about the syllabus. This 4202. So practice 2, 4202. I just uploaded the syllabus if you guys are able to see it on. Okay, so then you go to see the syllabus, so you have to go into content, like right here in inside of your D2L. And from there, we have a generic syllabus. So in practice 1, how many of you have taken practice 1 already? Okay, how was it? So there you get to learn how to work with individuals as a social worker. And 2, you get to learn how to work with groups as a social worker. And I usually only have 3 or 4 major assignments. So it actually is very simplified. If you stay on top of it, you'll have them complete quickly. In groups class, the last one you do is called practice 3, and you learn how to work with like agencies and like larger, maybe even advocacy stuff, even how to write grants, how to get a lot of money, how to run your own agency or business or something of that sort. So we're right in the middle. I know we try to let you take them out of order just so you guys can finish on time. Did you take them out of order? Did you? So we try to do that to be flexible, you all. Does it let you download the syllabus anywhere? Like if you just click download or print? I know we tried to print it yesterday. I don't think printers were working. Open in a PDF preview. I'm doing this just so that we can go through it.
You put it under syllabus?
I put it under content. So it should just be right in there, like so you go D2L, go hit content, and then just go to the bottom of the content page. Is it showing up for you? And if not, I'll at least go over for you guys and then. What's that? Syllabus?
Oh, yeah.
You have it? Okay. I might even have to defer to her to show it for you. It's in content.
Yeah, this is content. Sweet. Okay.
Content.
Content.
And then it should be at the bottom.
It's blue, huh?
Yeah.
Is it?
Like the right information.
No, because we went under syllabus. But see, like when you click content, it just shows all of this. Unless you post it.
Is it at the way bottom? Like, what
Or try to.
class? Let me make sure that it is. So,
Oh, no, that's not the right class.
help Jesus. All right. I just put that syllabus up for your class from yesterday. That is hilarious. All right. They stressing you out?
Yes. Why I come up here where I'm in class? It's I'm at the desk. Like, I need to act like they didn't get in college. I got new residents on my floor. Like,
Oh, it's in here.
So, what did you do?
So I did the same thing. I hit content, and then I just go. I had already dragged it in here. So like it just says social work 422 spring 2023. Maybe it's an overview. So if you're looking within content, so you see it now. Yes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So here's the course description. Again, it's teaching you how to lead a group. So we do it a real easy and fun way. When I taught it in 2019, were you all in high school in 2019 still? Okay. That was the only time I had a pre-COVID class of this class. And they went to an in-person live meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, an open group. Since COVID, I have given you the option to go and observe a online Zoom meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. So you observe a group is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be AA. It could be a mental health group at your agency you work for or know of or asked to view a group. That is assignment number 1. So the 3 major assignments are observe a group, lead a group, and then write a group proposal. That's it. That's all you do in this class. So we're talking like February, March, April, when they would all be due. So we try to keep it very simple. There's a lot of content I'll share with the syllabus in the meantime, but you're going to observe a group, learn how to run it, observe as many as you want, but you only have to write up one, and that's at the write-up is at the end of this syllabus right here. So when you observe a group, it is probably the last page. And here's the questions you answer for observing a group. Gosh, they make us add so much into this. So it's called Group Assessment Project. And then if you did name of group, it could be AA meeting, meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what a lot of people like to do, probably because you have 24-hour access to online AA meetings. So you can do it whenever you want. Other people have gone to agencies, domestic violence shelter, Women Helping Women, Claremont Recovery Center, places where you can observe a group being run. So anywhere you would want to go. Do you know of any social work agencies? Which one?
I had an internship there.
So you think they would let you observe a group and write about it? Okay. Would you be willing to do it again? I'm hoping to have you guys have a new experience with it. Just
Make game plans, but it wasn't treatment plans. It was something else.
okay. So usually it's a counselor, social worker leading the group with minimum is 3 clients. Sometimes you have 10, 12, 15 clients. I've seen DUI groups have 1,000 clients before. So that's why I was saying you get to make that money when you lead groups. Is you'll have somebody lead a group. Medicaid, you bill $30 per hour per person in a group. So if you had 1,000 individuals in a DUI group, how much money do you think that makes the agency? It's $30,000. They might only pay you as a social worker for $100 an hour, but it's a good gig. So, and that's usually the first thing they'll have you do, like in your social work internship. Have any of you done your social work internship? I feel like you
I'm registered. I'm signed up.
Okay.
For
Oh, okay, for the fall. So usually that's a big one they'll have. Interns do is lead a group. Do you all know where you would want to have your internship when you do your internship? Next year, next year? With kids, adults, prisoners, women.
I'm gonna go to a juvenile.
Okay.
But I wanna see other options too.
Okay.
Cause I was looking, I moved to Dallas when I graduated, and I was looking at jobs down there, social work jobs.
They have a lot.
Yeah, they do. They got child investigation jobs and stuff like that, and stuff at the juvenile center there. But like, Beyonce was so like, if you wanted to go into that, then you should like do an internship there first, because she said that.
In
like,
Dallas?
No,
Okay.
like out here.
Right.
Out here. Because I did apply for the juvenile center out here, but I just got scared because I'm doing for the government. I kind of ditched out, but.
Child Protective Services, or just like as a 24-hour monitor at the Juvenile Behavioral Health Center in the prison type thing? Because we had somebody doing that. She does it full time here and is a senior finishing with us because she led our group in our HPSE class.
It's just scary.
Well, it is because you can get, you have a lot of traumatized clients and it comes out of nowhere.
But money out there is good. For me not to have my license yet, the money is good. So, I don't know. I just wonder, like, what other agencies do they have, like, internships for? 'Cause I only know,
What was the middle part of the question? You said, what other do they have?
like, for the practicum or for the field practice, like, what other places besides the juvenile center? That's the only one I heard about.
We have like Child Protective Services. There is a domestic violence women's shelter. There is VA, which is Veterans Administration. So you'd work with veterans, and that pays the most. Nikita has the full. They change semester to semester, so that's something to keep in mind. But I think if you observe a group at a place like that, perfectly okay. You usually need to email like the director and get permission. If you do a Zoom meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, that's okay with me. You might not get the full mental health group observation thing, like how to run a mental health group, because it's an AA meeting, but it's similar. And then you would answer all these questions. So you go name of the group. It provides you an opportunity to apply knowledge and obtain from class discussion the text of the subject, group dynamics, to the actual process of assessing a social work group. It'll expose you to a social work group within the social work service community and permit you to observe the leader of the social work group function. And then you practice type of writing used in record keeping. I can actually show you what we did at 3 or 4 agencies. I've led groups in traumatized children. I also did a trauma group, and then Girls Circle is the example that I give you, and that is specific to women, children, adolescents that are like 18, 19, 20 that are going through a recovery process. So here's your instruction, just like identify a social work group, attend a single session of the group and complete this form, prepare the report. So this is your first assignment. It would be due like February, which sounds really far away, but it's also only like 12 and a half days away. So it's far away, but it's not.
So what, February?
Around there. I'm usually, I'll work with you, but because the AA meetings are offered every hour, 24 hours a day, like you'll always have a group. And if you want to go observe at the domestic violence women's shelter or the juvenile detention center, one of those, again, just email them and let them know you're a social work student.
So what, like down here or
It could be up there, but like where you're from in Toledo, but do you have access to it?
I mean, my grade, she still attends.
She works there.
She attends.
Oh, you mean like AA meetings? So she could take you to an open meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. When we did it as a class, I taught this class at night, and we all drove together to a 7 p.m. AA meeting because it was a 7 p.m. class. So different, but we got it done. So now that everything's online, does your grandma go to the online ones? Right. Right. Well, I think it's more powerful in person, so that's good. Like, and she probably knows an open meeting. And I say open meeting because if it's a closed meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can't go unless if you identify as an alcoholic. So if you go in and say, my name is so-and-so, I'm an alcoholic, you can. But if you don't, then it's a closed. And here's what you write up. Like it says group assessment. You can copy this right into Word and fill in your paragraphs. Name of the group, primary purpose of the group, name, credentials, characteristics of the leader, settings, that's like the agency building. So learn how to lead a group. Do any of you know any groups ever that you've seen or are aware of, even from television shows that are like social work groups? Even like AA meetings in a movie though, you know how they like always show like an AA meeting in different movies.
I don't know if like a restorative justice circle count, but I've observed
Could.
those.
Where was one of those? Like, tell me more if you're able to.
It was like, I was doing a workshop actually. It was, I went to a summer camp that I also worked at, so it was kind of like an internship. But
That's like groups all day, every day, right?
yes,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
So like basically to help teach us like conflict resolution, we did like a restorative justice circle, which dates back to Native American practices, and it's like a specific order that the meeting goes in, and like there's a goal that's set for the circle. It's very intentional.
You must have done this in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Because we don't have Native Americans in Ohio that I know of. I'm sure we do, but like, I remember when I went in Minneapolis, we had like the peace pipe, and then we all smoked it and passed around. Then we did a sweat lodge. So the sweat lodge is where you get like rocks, straight out of a fire that's about 120 degrees, and you throw it into a water and it'll steam, and then you're like in a sweat lodge and you have like a spiritual experience. So that was in New Mexico that I had done that. But then the peace pipe one was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which I think is close to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. And then obviously as a social worker, I have led trauma groups and recovery groups and like sometimes family groups for the recovering alcoholic. When I was at Claremont Recovery Center, we had to have family groups. Sometimes mom and dad would come just like yell about their kid. Like he keeps stealing my money and credit cards and buying all that weed and getting arrested and crashed my car into a tree and drove it home and didn't even get picked up. So I woke up to a crashed up car outside the house and, you know, like giving them a place to vent so they don't beat their kid into oblivion in the middle of the night. Like, dude. So those are different examples of groups. Can you think of any other group examples? It's like DUI group usually help you get your license back. You ever heard of those? They're expensive. I think they're like $1,000. Yeah. So if you get a DUI and you want to drive again, you got to go to the DUI group. And sometimes it's a whole weekend where they all stay at a hotel and like they'll fit. That's why it maybe is $1,000. They feed you and house you and whatever. But it's so DUI groups, Al-Anon recovery groups. So that's the flip side of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's friends and family of the recovering alcoholic. So like if your grandma identifies as an alcoholic, you could go to Al-Anon or Alateen and learn to do the 12 steps yourself.
Like gambling?
Oh yeah, Gamblers Anonymous. So there's a lot of AA, NA, which they all came from the same 12 steps written in 1939 in the book called Alcoholics Anonymous. So it's a good recovery group to use for things that you are learning in social work. Summer camps are a good one though. You're right. Like they do, and the restorative justice, however you describe that, it sounds like it still has something to do with like the mental health of others too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we did some in Cincinnati after we had the riots in 2001. We had race riots in 2001. So we tried to get everyone to come together and come to a dialogue and discussion of like how we're going to move forward and be okay as a community. So then it'll get more detailed, like composition, what people, number of age, gender distribution, race, notable similarities, socioeconomic class. If you go to like a paid group, it could be a lot of rich people. But if you go to like Alcoholics Anonymous, it could be rich people, poor people, average people, every race, gender, religion, and whatnot, because none of them really discriminate. There are some women's group of Alcoholics Anonymous and then men's groups of Alcoholics Anonymous. So that's the only ones that are like specific to gender. Then it goes on, there's probably like 20 of these. So it is a big enough assignment. You do want to look into it and either find your meeting you want to observe. If you know anybody doing internship right now, you could even ask them. Like if you know seniors that are interns somewhere, you could say, hey, can I come observe? If you have groups at your internship, can I observe one? And they'll ask their boss. So group attraction, like, oh yeah, did they want to be in the group? Sometimes they're court ordered to go to meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. They don't want to be there, but they have to be there. Or a DUI group, if you want your license back, you have to go. Was the attraction high or low? And just describe it. So essentially, we have a lot of writing in social work. The idea is when you practice social work, for it sounds like all of you would be next year. You all graduate and you're going to be interns. And you could have your license by January of next year. Less than a year, you could take the licensure test if you want to. And there's a lot of writing. So when you get bill Medicaid, you write your notes and you bill Medicare, Medicaid, and get paid for that. So that's the way we get paid. And that's why we have so many papers, and it drives you crazy how many papers we write in social work. But that's why we want to be very descriptive and detailed. And it'll save your behind when you're in practice. Because if you write bad notes, your supervisor will hound you. Like they get on you. They're like, I've done it before, so that's.
I know, because I'm a case manager.
They're like, dude, what did you even say here?
Yeah.
Like, and usually you need to say like, met with client, went over treatment plan goal number 1. Client did this, this, and this. Next meeting time is in a week and a half, and blah. Like if you.
Confirmed and coming appointment,
Mhm.
man compliant.
Right.
Of course, they were man compliant.
So as long as you cover all those bases, you're good. But if you write some crap like saw the client and he was happy, they'd be like, nope, you're not even getting paid for that.
Like, they want you to mention stuff like the meds
Uh-huh.
and the goals
Mhm.
and their progress toward their goal plan.
Right. Right.
So,
Yep. Because that's how they get paid. And if they're
yeah, and of course, another huge one is the coping skill.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know what are they doing as, they utilize, if they're utilizing their coping skills. Some clients don't even know what a coping skill is. So
Uh-huh.
then you got to explain to them, the coping skills, what are some of the things they like to do to decrease their mental health symptoms. And,
Mm-hmm.
some clients might report that they like to watch TV, or they take walks, or
Mm-hmm.
or they can, 1 to 10 so they calm down, or some clients might report they like to be by themselves. But I know I have my big clients, so
I know. Yeah, that can be a lot. I've done it before, and it's because those places. Has anybody ever told you guys this? They want you to bill for 20 some hours a week. So when you work for an agency, they want you face to face with the client. 20 hours a week. You got the other 20 hours to write your notes and drive to their home if you do home visits or whatever. But 20, sometimes they try to push it up, 22, 24. That's when you can experience burnout if they make you do more than 24 hours billable a week. It's not. Some people are good at it, and those that are open their own private practice and like see 29 clients a week. And that's when you can get paid more. Like at Lighthouse, they would pay us 45 per billable hour. So if you saw 30 clients a week, you could easily clear 1,200 a week. So that's exciting. Like it just depends on how you manage time. And then mileage went up again today. I think it's for 2023. They give you 65 cents a mile now.
They've been doing that East Way. So
Really?
about 4 months ago.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like some agencies wait until the very last day they have to legally do it, because I just saw that email like yesterday. Now you get 65 cents a mile.
Yeah.
So
Still ain't good enough.
I know it's not $1 a mile to run your car. You got
I quit
insurance.
my job every day.
It's
I don't
tough.
like it.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
like it because I feel like they don't treat social workers, case managers, the way that they should.
great.
We need to get paid more than what we're getting paid.
What's the name of the agency? Can I look up their website?
Yeah, East Way.
Eastway.
And a lot of instructors don't tell this, but I believe it, keep it real with, students.
Housing?
Uh-huh.
Eastway Housing, Dayton, Ohio.
East Way housing, but it's a behavior.
Okay, right. So it's like any age? Is it teenagers or adults or all of the above?
Adults.
And mostly dual
Mostly
diagnosis?
adults. Like majority of my clients is older.
Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
Okay.
People who have been on Heron.
So they probably have groups there that you could observe.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I guarantee you they have a group. If you want to. If you want to do the AA meeting, that's okay. Or if they go somewhere that you want to work, you could go there too.
How long you got to attend them?
It's usually just an hour-long group.
Okay.
And then you write up, again, it's this little, I'm almost halfway through, but like describe how the leader managed group development, estimated stage of the group development, that's in the book. Group culture observe, like, do they all hate each other? A lot of times when the kids affects, they all hate each other, but they go to the group as they have to
Exactly.
get their incentive. Maybe it's money for a pack of cigarettes or Mountain Dew or something like that. You know
Because a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
us don't even want to be around people.
Right,
They
right.
tell you they hate to be around people.
Yes.
They don't like to come out.
So it might be like social skills group, so that they have to learn how is, even though we don't want to be around people, we still have to see people every day.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Are you here for groups? Practice 2? Social work? Okay, just checking. I've had everyone else in class before, I feel like, but I don't know if I've had you. I'm Dr. Trout.
Hello. Over there.
And then what grade, what semester are you? Like junior? Oh yeah, did you guys have a piece of paper? I'm sorry, I forgot that. And we could do introductions also. I forgot to do that as I did them yesterday. And I had a baby on New Year's Eve, so I'm tired every day. Like, if I call you by the name, I promise I'm not meaning to. But I've been a social worker for 21 years. I've taught now since 2009. I've taught full time since about 2016. So I guess that's 7 years now. So I went from practice full-time, teaching part-time to teaching full-time, practice part-time, as I still work at Hospice Crossroads. After living in El Salvador, Nicaragua, I first worked at Claremont Recovery Center, then Lighthouse Youth Services, and now I'm at Hospice. So that's kind of the deal. Are you all then graduating next year, next school year, I
I
guess?
am.
Like December 23rd,
I graduated here 3 years ago with my bachelor's.
psychology.
I realized a psychology degree was not it.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
That's not it. It's not the best route, social work.
It
So
is.
I'm finishing up my social work and this is my last semester.
Okay.
I'm super excited.
Heck yeah. It's 9 classes really, and then the internship. It's 9 classes and then your internship.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So are you all then juniors, sophomore, senior? When's your graduation date?
I'm a senior, but I'm
Like December. Okay, cool. And then what classes do you have left for social work? Or are you a social work major, I should ask? Okay. Okay.
So 3 last semester, so I'm taking this one and 1 this semester.
Okay.
And then I think actually that's all of me.
Oh, so you've already had intro and HBSC.
I
Huh?
think I had you my freshman year.
Was it online though, like COVID or something? That's why. See. Okay. Okay. Well, so I was saying to them, practice 1 is mainly working one-on-one with individuals. Practice 2 is running a group, learning how to run groups, and thank you. And then 3 is working with like agencies and companies and communities and stuff like that. So I was saying there's only going to be 3 or 4 major assignments in all of my classes. Oh, that is all of part 1. So in this class, it's observe a group, observe a mental health group. That's the big assignment 1. We'll make it due next month. But it's faster than you think because it's only 2.5 days away. Then run group. I guess we only have 12 and a half minutes left of class. And then the final paper is writing your own group proposal. And what some like about if you do like realistic items that you could use at your internship, sometimes they'll use your group and like they could even submit it for a $100,000 grant. So you can fund your own position if you write a good group proposal with a grant proposal into it. So a lot of times I'll recommend you to go to grants.gov. Got lots of money there. We funded our new social work teacher position. Karen Johnson Jordan is teaching child and family services at this time. And that's $82,000 a year. So it like pays for the benefits, it pays for salary, it pays travel and like all kinds of stuff. We also have another grant that we wrote on racial equity and behavioral health in the state of Ohio. So if you did go to grant.gov, what are you all interested in? Like in social work, what do you want to do when you finish?
It's like a lot of things.
Kids or moms or dads or women or like prison population or okay. So like you could go here and do children behavioral health.
Mm-hmm.
We have a large grants are no joke. They are a lot of work, but like finding the funding is the big first one. So this one, like, I want to find a simple one. So like promoting integration of primary and behavioral health care program. That could be starting your own agency that does healthcare programs, linking actions for unmet needs in children's health, National Center for a System of Services for Children and Youth with Special Healthcare Needs. So you see all the different funding. Or if you wanted to do immigrants, residential services for unaccompanied children. A lot of times you click on it's $1 million. It's like, whoa, they got that much to. So award ceiling is $8 million. The most you could get if you wrote that grant is $8 million. The award floor is $1 million. Maybe that funds 30 or 20 people. I was going to say, when I was first hired as a social worker, $35,000 a year was good pay, and you could like pay your house and your car and your mortgage. But I keep forgetting we live in 2023 after they gave us stimmy checks, and inflation makes it like you got to earn more like 40 some thousand a year to pay for your house payment. And what are car payments nowadays? Like too much. Or rent. How about that? What does rent cost? If you just rent somewhere to live around here, how much is it? Like when I went to school, it was $350. Is it still $350? Okay. So you do need more, and my car payment is $333, but we bought a minivan for the kids, and it's like $555 a month. It's no damn joke. It's horrible. Food. Anybody bought any expensive food lately?
Eggs.
$6.19 for a dozen and a half. I was pissed.
My brother said he went to the grocery store and they was
What? So like just a normal strip, like the pound or something?
And my son can't, we got chickens. Like, we got a chicken coop.
They eat their own eggs, or do you get them?
Eggs, 'cause we don't have a rooster, so.
Right,
It's the eggs, 'cause we don't have a rooster, so.
right.
It's the eggs and the kids, like, omelets. and
They-
eggs.
That's good. That is some like biopsychosocial good things for kids to do. Unless if they're like demented and abuse the chickens somehow. Any of them like chase the chickens or?
Well, the chickens just like to run, 'cause they
Right,
run in like the
right.
garden and stuff, and they poop on the garden. So
Yes.
It's good.
Fertilizer.
Yeah,
It is. Well, no, I gave my chickens away in October, and I'm going to
Yeah,
grow a
so-
garden. So I will grow a garden where my chickens were, but we put up a swing set. So I made my yard like normal again. I'm like a normal backyard instead of a hippie backyard. So
And I did not know that chickens lay eggs every day.
every
Until,
26 hours.
Yeah, so like I'm like the kids would go in.
It's a lot of
chicken coop.
eggs.
Yeah, they would go in the chicken coop and they would like get the eggs and stuff. And I would ask the garden instructor like, they lay eggs every day. They was like, yeah, if they don't, something's wrong.
Right. Something gets like stuck in their
Yeah.
land. It's kind of funny. Like you got to do different things to fix them. So anyway, your syllabus is up. The 3 main assignments. Do you guys remember what they are again? I'm trying to make it as easy to remember.
Group observation.
Yep.
Group proposal.
That's the big final paper. It's a long,
Middle.
it's probably the longest paper you'll write. So you almost want to start on it now for due on April 30th. So you could have like lead a group, and it's better. Yes, that's the middle one. And it's best live and in here. I do have some cliff notes on how to lead a group if you guys want those.
Was that what they was doing in our class? Oh.
They were leading a
Leading the
group.
group. Oh.
That was the idea. Yes.
So we have to lead a group
Yes.
in here or what?
Ideally, it would be in here. During COVID, we did have people film it and like act like they were leading it. It's better to do it live because it's scary. It's nerve wracking. You get but you get the jitters out and you do it. You know, it's when I build for groups, the minimum we could bill for was 23 minutes. And then they would pay us for 30 minutes. Ideally, they want it to be an hour. So we had to go for 53 minutes. I'm not expecting you guys to do that. You could also run a group for 38 minutes and they'll pay you for 45 minutes through Medicaid. So my goal is, and then the minimum, when I saw a client or did a phone call, was 8 minutes. They pay you for 15. So I usually want you guys to try to lead running your groups from like 15 to 23 minutes. If you hit 23 minutes,
How long we gotta do it in here?
15 to 23 minutes. And that way you bill for 30. You know what I mean? But I have from start to finish how you're going to lead that group if you want it. I'll put it up on. And it's called Girl Circle. and it has week 1, and usually groups are 10 weeks long, and it has each and every different thing that you'll do for leading that group, like materials you'll want, or a lot of people do like mindfulness and meditation. Other people have like things you have to write up, or like forgiveness group, trauma group, things like that. So those are our only 3 major assignments. So February, observe your group by February, even if it's an online meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. Lead your group in March. When is our spring break? Like that would be.
March 20th, I believe.
You're better at remembering it than I am. And then big, huge final paper is the group proposal. We'll be like working on it throughout, because the outline is again at the bottom of the syllabus if you want to see exactly what it entails. It even tells you which paragraph to write for what. So here it is, group final paper, generalist practice 2. So you can use these same headings if you want, and just like fill it out, and it tells you what to do in part 1 and conceptualizing the group. Like I want to run a group and lead it for women that are seeking safety from abusive relationships and had a domestic violence experience with, and then you write, title is like proposal for a support group for elderly women experiencing grief over significant loss. So any title that you pick, again, if you add the grants into it and go on grants.gov, you'll have the abstract like a lot of the psychology papers have, overall scope. So these are like 1 paragraph or 1 title. That one's 1 to 3 paragraphs, and it gets a little thicker, like psychosocial concerns. Like the primary problem, like domestic violence in America constitutes 2 out of 3 women. I don't know the exact stats, but like there's, you can look them up online and use actual research studies. Like there's a domestic violence shelter in every major city in America. And then you use stuff from the literature. I also have a grant that we wrote for Lighthouse Youth Services that was 100 pages, and we got, I think, $15 million for it. So I had to be one of the editors on it. And like the better you learn how to write these things and propose groups to run your own agency, the more likely you'll get money and funding, or jobs for money and funding of different agencies. So I just want you to get everything that we do real experience. This is something you're going to use out in the field. I'm not going to make you do BS projects. Ideally, you want to write this up and use that in your internship next year. They'll be like, dang, you've already led a group already? So you want to lead this group? Oh, you've already written a proposal? Can we send this off to our grant? And then they'll be all excited. And that's it. Yeah, everything's on D2 as long as you ask. So you should be able to also download the syllabus. Let's see here. It does give you a download option. Oh.
Why teachers don't hand out syllabus?
Also download the syllabus. Let's hear. It does give you a download option. Oh.
Why teachers don't hand out syllabus normally?
They're encouraging us to be like green hippies and not print anything. It was COVID, really, but it's a bad excuse. It is.
Jackson, she offered to print it.
And I offered to print it. So I know we failed yesterday, but I got it to work when you left, of course. So if you want it printed, just come to my office right now, as we have 2 minutes left in class.
I'll come to your office.
Yeah, if you want it printed, we can print it. That's fine. It's definitely, it is different. When I went to school, I didn't even have a computer. I had a pager. We didn't even have cell phones. And then in 1997, I lost my pager and I bought a cell phone. Is that bad? You guys ever have a pager? You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah,